53 is set. The practice squad is set. We got a week and a half away from like real deal Falcons football. I got my pre-gym. I got Saivion Mixon in the house tonight. I mean, let's get this thing started, man. I'm ready. And welcome in, folks. It is episode 178 of Out of Your Falcon Mind, Atlanta Falcons Fancast. My name is John, your host, as always. Tonight, joined by another one of our favorite people that's been in rocking with us since literally day one, Mr. Saivion Mixon, man, of the sporting news. And you have a new gig since the last time you've actually been on this show, man. So, number one, congratulations. I know we've talked before, but well deserved, man. But tell the folks where they can find you, what you want to, because, man, I'm going to tell y'all first before he even starts. Make sure you're following him on Twitter. Make sure you're following all the writers that they've got, whether it's Trayshawn or whoever is like just a Bryce Lewis. We got Kenny Grits Blitz. I mean, we got some fantastic writers working with Saivion, man. So if y'all want to be covered by the Falcons, don't waste your time. Just go follow Saivion. He got you covered every single damn day. So, buddy, thank you for being here, co-hosting with me tonight. And what's up?
Man, I appreciate you, John. First and foremost, if this thing messes up, let me know. I'll get to my phone because this is my laptop. I got a brand new laptop thanks to my beautiful wife that got me this for my birthday. And so, yeah,
awesome.
If anything goes wrong, let me know so that I can go to my phone and we can keep this thing rolling. But yeah, over at the Sporting News now, sportingnews.com/US or /US/NFL /Atlanta-Falcons.
There you go.
It's a little bit much, but that's it's a little bit much, but you know what I'm saying. It's worth it. We definitely make it worth your time to come over, and we have some of the best guys over at the Sporting News right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, it's awesome to like when we first met you and seeing what you were doing then, and then going to the Vikings for a bit, then coming back here, and then now you've moved. I mean, like, is this your first summer like not as a Floridian? Like, is like outside of Florida?
Second summer, but this is my first one where I feel like comfortable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the last one, I thought I escaped the humidity.
No,
I did not.
Mm-mm.
No, I did not.
No, that was
a lie that I told myself.
No, it's still there. It goes on up to like probably DC, man. Like I guess even probably higher than that. But
why?
I mean, it just does,
What's
dude.
The point?
It just does. It just follows you everywhere. And I know, I mean, I'm wearing a hoodie right now, which is insane. So y'all have to like, number one, I'm dealing with some sinus issues. So like y'all have to just like bear with me tonight. I don't know. When the temperature slightly changes to like the 60s, it just like happens
every time,
clockwork every year. So, and I'm sitting underneath the fan and the AC's right there. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to throw my.
So you don't care about your life.
Not at all. And so, but that's why I got the pre-gym, but I got to get that flowing. But I am wearing that aside. I am wearing the Out of Your Falcon Mind hoodie. So, there is that. So I can plug that. Y'all can go on. I'll put that. It's in the link in the video, and I'll put it on the screen if I remember later on in the show. But to get some business out of the way, man, welcome in for anybody that's new to the show. Welcome in. Anybody that's been watching us or listening to us for a long time. Thank you guys. Welcome back in. To let y'all know, Mike will be back next. We got to figure it out. It's either going to be Tuesday or Wednesday, because I'm pretty sure Liam's got we have a high school baseball meeting next Wednesday at like, I think it's 8 or 7 or 8. So that's typically going to be our show time though. Wednesdays at 7 o'clock, preview show coming up for the upcoming game on the weekend. So obviously we got a Steelers game on the 8th. So we're going to try to either move that to Tuesday night or Thursday night, but regardless, just keep your eyes on the channel. But Mike will be back. He cannot wait. Finally be back. He's been gone for like 6 weeks. So if y'all are new to the show, man, come back and see Mike, because we were just talking. The man is irreplaceable. So he really is. So I can't wait to have my partner back. And shout out to Saivion, shout out to Fleek, JR, Larry, Uncle Steve, everybody that's filled in while he's been gone.
It's been awesome.
Yeah, man, it's been fun. It's been really fun. And I know I probably left somebody out of that. But I mean, y'all know who you are. If you filled in for Mike while he's been gone, I appreciate the hell out of you guys, and y'all know that. Went on with One Time for the Fan last week. Hopefully you guys saw that with Jack and company there. So that was awesome. Terry and and carry. So anyway, yeah, and you can subscribe while you're here. We appreciate that. We're trying to hit that 1,600 mark and keep going from there. Like the video, of course, helps us get more viewers, more eyes on it in YouTube. And if you're listening to us and you can drop us a 5-star review, feel free. I think most of our listeners, according to our analytics, come from iTunes or Apple. So that on Apple, you guys can actually do a 5-star and write a review. So if you write a review, we'll actually shout you out on the show. And as many of those 5 stars we can get, we much appreciate it. Same thing for Spotify and then anywhere else, man. We really appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think that's it. So, Saivion, man, we actually, before we even get into it, let me holler at the chat, man. Smitty, what's going on, brother? He said, appreciate you, dude. King Atlanta supporter, man. Appreciate you showing up, man. Always here. Appreciate you, man. Jay, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Timothy Fisher, what is happening, man? Jordan, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. We're doing great, man. We got football around the corner.
Absolutely.
We are doing awesome, man. Timothy said last week was nice here. Dude, I'm an Ackworth, so I know what you mean. It was like midday 70s, like low 80. I was loving it. And like all of a sudden it's like 98 and ridiculous today. So I understand. I'm ready for I did see though, it's going to be like a cool down coming. So they better not be lying to me.
Yeah, it's coming.
I will put that link out, Jay. Yeah, for sure, man. I will get that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it now so I don't forget. I'm going to scroll it along the bottom. There you go. Because it's not easy to say because all the dashes. It don't make it easy. But it's on there, man. We much appreciate that. All right. So the 53-man. Actually, before we even get into that, any noticeable, anything around the league that caught your eye, man? Any notable cuts? Any well, what the hell? I kind of came out of left field for you.
The log jam at wide receiver at Houston, it was really big. Seeing Noah Brown get cut was like, okay, it was kind of like a opening thing, like an eye-opening thing, like, oh yeah, they really are like stacked at that position. Mm-hmm. I mean, around the league, the biggest thing, of course, is still we're just waiting on the Brandon Ayuk thing to finally solve itself. I think he's going to be a 49er, if I'm being honest. But
I kind of figured he is by now too.
I mean, at this point, dude, it's like, you're going to go somewhere and learn an entirely new system and
yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're going to be a 49er. You're going to go back and it's going to be whatever. This whole thing was just a waste of time. Outside of that, Caleb Farley is available. That's one of my big ones out of Tennessee,
Didn't Noah, not to cut you off, did Noah just get picked up by the Commanders?
Noah did just get picked up by the Commanders, yeah.
That sucks. Yeah, I was hoping that we might take a shot at him, but oh well.
Yeah, that one hurt when I saw it, but it's okay. But yeah, I think that's about it now that I can think about it, yeah.
Yeah, well, we would be remiss if we didn't say, our boy Dez did get cut by the Cardinals.
I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, I have to. But but he made it back to the practice squad, and I'm not crapping on him. I don't. It is what it is, man. Like, it's not his fault. Some guys have it, some guys don't. Unfortunately for him, it hasn't went his way. It's just for you and I in particular, we did a show about quarterbacks. And we had somebody that would not leave us alone about Desmond being the starter this year, and we were crazy.
Still cannot believe that.
Not only crazy, but we were racist because of it. Which I still can't figure that one out.
We were not just crazy; we were racist because of it.
And I can't figure it out for so many different reasons because the man is mixed. So I don't know, like, what part? And I'm white, and you're black. So I don't. It was extremely confusing for me, the whole situation. So, but the only person I've ever had to block on this channel, because I couldn't, like, I just, I can't deal with that. You know what I mean?
I still can't fathom that. I don't understand. Like, I really want to know, like, what the justification was for us being called racist. Like,
I think because at the time you and I were like, you know what, we would take Justin.
We would take Justin Fields. Yeah.
Right. At this point. So, and it was like, I don't know, man. I mean, I was the one responding. I'm like, dude, I'm the white guy, right? Like, I don't understand. Like, what I mean? Like, I don't know. It was extremely like the weirdest conversation back and forth I've ever had since we started the show. But regardless, man, hope the best for Dez. Like I said, it just goes to show you, man, we won 7 games last year, and the man couldn't make a squad this year,
Yeah.
and we damn near won 9 games last year, maybe even 10 games, if it wasn't for a tackle here or there or interception here or there. But that's the league. That's how it goes. But regardless, man. All right, go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Only thing I was going to say was, I mean, that does bring some credence to Terry Fontenot's, lack of like urgency in the offseason to an extent. I still don't like it. I always say if you got it, go ahead and push your cards in. And he eventually did. I think he had to be kind of coaxed into it a little bit, but he eventually did. And seeing Desmond not being able to beat out Clayton Tune. Don't get me wrong, I watched Clayton Tune at the Senior Bowl, and he's got a okay arm, but the way that Desmond looked, coming out of Cincinnati, he should have been able to take that quarterback 2 job pretty easily. And the fact that he didn't is pretty disappointing.
Yeah, I would agree with that for sure. And I did watch that last game, and it was. Dude, it looked like it was pretty much the same as what we watched here. Did you see it? I mean, it was just like it was an overthrow here, an underthrow there. Then would be one right on the money.
There's that one throw that's like, see, there it is.
Yeah,
that's what we're looking for,
dude. And he put together the one game here. Really, the best game he had here was against the Texans,
against CJ Stroud.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just like, okay, if he can be that guy, we're straight. But it was just the
consistency
wasn't there, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it was just the same, man. And it was like nothing had really changed, So it sucks, but like I said, not going to crap on him, man. I know it's a tough day around the league for a lot of guys. A lot of guys their dreams over with for a lot of guys. They're not going to be playing. They're not putting on practice squad. Nothing. That's it. So that does suck, man. But like I said, it was good to see him get back on the practice squad, and maybe he can improve from there. I got to shout out Berto, man. Berto says shout out to you and Saivion. I'm hearing y'all from a distance. He just shot me a text, so I guess he's listening, man. So it's good, man. I appreciate you, Berto. Yeah, man. Make sure y'all check out Berto, man. That man is busier than I think you and Berto might be the busiest men right now in Falcons content. He's on Bleacher Report. He's doing the NFC Roundtable. Him and Smitty.
Berto just moving.
I'm all over the place doing different shows. We'll eventually have Berto back on our show. We just can't even get our schedules together at this moment, but we will, man. When Mike gets back here, we'll have Berto back doing that again. But anywho, where were we at? We were talking about Desmond. Yeah, so no more Desmond. No more anybody else. Sorry. So back to our 53. Jordan said that's crazy. Somebody called you already. Yeah, man. They were reaching. I know. Smitty said YouTube is weird sometimes. It's a strange universe, buddy. Didn't know we were getting into, man. We just wanted to talk Falcons. We just want to talk Falcons and have a good time. And then all of a sudden, it's like, what happened?
There's a price to pay for that. There's a
I
price.
don't understand it. I don't get it, man. Jay Cooper said, I think Ritter's done in NFL for a while. It could be, man. It's going to be tough.
It could be.
It could be, I agree with that. It could be tough, man. And Timothy said, I really like this team in our future. I'm digging it too, man. We're going to get into it for sure. And Smitty said Desmond needs to call Andy Reid and has mechanical. That's been the thing, man. 3 Dirty.
That's the thing this whole time. What's going on?
It has. It's been the whole time. It's been that's been part of it. And there were signs we were in training camp. We were and he's throwing to the net, and we're watching him. We're right there, and he's missing the holes in the net. And I'm like, it's all right. It's just a bad day. It's all right.
It's just a bad day. He's a young cat. He's a young cat.
I kept saying that for weeks, and then there it went, so, but hey. But 3 Dirty, what's up, man? Good to see you, man. Philip, what's up? You're so glad to see the practice squad has Blair, Brooke, and a few others. Future looking better and better. Yes, sir. And let's just get into it, man. So, the 53, I'm about to put on the screen here. Can you see that, Saivion? Good? Hopefully you guys can see it on the You good?
Beautifully.
All right, perfect. So let's just start with the quarterback, man. Pretty obvious, Kirk and Mike. No surprise there. Were you surprised with Taylor?
Yes, but not because Taylor made it, but because Taylor is still here. You know what I mean? I thought we was going to be able to trade Taylor Heineke because, I mean, if you look around the league, you see the Raiders don't really have a quarterback. Cleveland is doing some weird thing with Jameis Winston. You think that maybe they're in the QB3 market. I don't know. But like there's always a place for like a quarterback like Taylor Heineke. But I mean, if it's here in Atlanta, I'm not going to be mad about it. I mean, let's say that something happens to both of our quarterbacks who both have injury problems, injury concerns. It would be okay to have a third guy like Taylor Heineke on the roster. I'm just saying nobody wants to put it out there, but I mean, both of them do. I mean, Kirk Cousins doesn't have injury concerns. It's the fact that he's old and coming off an Achilles. He's been pretty much an Iron Man before that. But I mean, if he goes down, Michael Penix comes in. He hasn't been the healthiest.
Yeah. I mean, I told her, me and my wife were talking, and I told her, I was like, I mean, if we get to Taylor, then we're in a lot of deep shit anyway. Like things
are bad.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I was, the fact that he was still here, like you said, like, I mean, he'd already restructured. I mean, it wasn't like I wasn't blown away by it, but obviously he did not have a good preseason. But folks got to remember too, and I crapped on him just as much as anybody else did. But like, he is playing behind a third or second line, and like it makes a difference. Like, he's not playing with the first team, so it kind of it does make a difference there. But like I said, you stash him away. Maybe down the road the team needs somebody, and not us, hopefully, and we do trade him. That's the best case scenario in my book. So no big deal there. To running backs, of course, Bijan, Tyler, Avery Williams, and no surprise to me was Jace McClellan. I know some folks there was like Team Carlos and Team Jace. Obviously, some of y'all have watched the show before. Y'all know I'm an Alabama fan.
Yeah,
I had watched Jace for what time he got playing time in Alabama, and he wasn't here for OTAs because he was still had the little injury nagging thing from the draft, and so he was kind of behind the 8 ball already. Carlos was having these flashes, during training camp and during the preseason games. But when you saw, like, I tweeted out Jace's RB3 after the run he had in Baltimore, where there's 3 guys on him, and then like 2 more have to come help tackle him. That's
Jace. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's not going to be the shiftiest guy in the world. He's going to be a one.
He is going to fall forward
and go. And he's going to fall forward. Yeah, he does not. No, he likes contact. And like so with our 2 guys, it just seemed like the natural fit. And I saw your tweet about, I don't know what game it was, but I laughed my ass off. I said, I think you said like Carlos must have like negative balance.
It was so bad. I think it was against Baltimore, and he just kept doing it. Like, it just kept happening to where he would like hit the
touched,
hole, and he would just get touched, and he would go down. And it's like, what is? I'm like, yo, this is your shot, bro. Do not miss your chance to blow. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And he's a different cat than Jay. They're different guys, but it's just that in our offense. Like I said, hopefully 1 and 2 stay healthy. But Jace, look, they both can play special teams. Jason's not afraid to block. He's not afraid to hit on special teams. So like you're not losing anything there. And they drafted the man themselves. So that's going to play a role as well. Like, that was their guy. Always. Carlos was not their guy. So that's always going to be, there's a reason why they drafted him. You know what I mean? So that's going to be there. So any disagreement or agreement with you on that running back room? Pretty easy, right?
Not at all. Pretty easy. Very glad to see Avery Williams still here. I know there's a lot of people that was talking about, a bunch of guys that are, we brought in a lot of return specialist type guys. I'm just glad that Avery Williams is here. That means that he did enough to where they feel comfortable with him being our return guy in this season.
Yeah, we can't forget how good he was, before the end.
He was really good.
Yeah. And it's, you have a down season like we had. It's easy to kind of like just out of sight, out of mind type of thing, and you don't see him a lot during the preseason. But yeah, he was good. So like, he returns to that form. We're in good shape.
Not to mention that, last year the special teams was not good. So, you forget that, he got hurt, but you just remember that, okay, he's a special teams guy.
Yep.
Special teams won good last year. Part of the reason why was because he wasn't there. So that's just, so it's really nice to see that. That's an obvious bump that you get already from the special teams.
Yeah, and 3:30 said just looked at the practice squad. Glad to see some of the names that came back. Yeah, so were we. Yep. So were we, man. Lisa, what's going on? Good to see you.
Lisa.
All right, wide receivers. A little surprised. Drake Darnell, Ray, Cadero, Casey Washington. I
And
thought
stop.
Casey had and stop. That was it. 5, which
Yeah.
I thought we would carry 6. I thought Chris Blair did enough. And we'll go ahead. Actually, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. And if I'm missing guys, I think the last time I checked, I know it's full now, but as of what, like an hour ago, Kevin, Falcoholic Kevin. So our practice squad consists of wide receiver Chris Blair, who we were just talking about. Again, I thought did enough to make the squad. Again, though, Casey Washington up and down camp, but he was a draft pick. I think they see something in him. And I don't blame him. That's fine. Natron Brooks, so obviously just came out of nowhere in that Baltimore game, was hitting everybody on the field.
Of course.
So he's back. None of these guys were picked up, which we were lucky for that, right? I mean, like they weren't claimed, So hey, good for us.
Yeah.
Wide receiver Dylan Drummond, edge Damone Harris, another guy who I thought had a really good camp.
Love Damone Harris. Yeah.
Yeah, glad he came back. Zion Logue, who I talked about on Twitter yesterday. That was going to be a tough ass room to make because it's just full of people, and we'll get to that room in a little bit. But glad he was able to come back, as well as Laquel London on that line. Wide receiver Jesse Matthews, who shot out to Jack. Well, did Trayshawn like it? Because Jack said last week on the show too.
Oh, Trayshawn, you got to think, man. Is that Jesse or James? I might be getting them mixed up, but I know that one of them, Trayshawn, is like, oh, that's an Okie State guy. So
of course, yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. Of course. Offensive tackle Andrew Stuber, and then Carlos Washington, of course, came back to the practice squad. Dane Cruikshank, who's a safety, and Julian Davenport, another offensive tackle. Kevin King, who I'm glad he's back because, I mean, really good camp, really good story. Got that relationship with Jerry Gray. Like, nothing surprised me. Right. Glad he didn't get picked up. Could be, I want to be sold on my Qs. Like, I really want to be, but I just got to see it first.
Right.
And then tight end John Fitzpatrick is back again. So I guess that's 13. There's 16, right? So I'm missing 3 guys, but I don't know who I'm missing. But
I don't think that. I also think that that's not by. I don't think that's by accident either. We can talk about that later. I don't think that's by accident.
Got it. All right. So anything else on the wide receivers, buddy?
Just very glad to see Chris Blair back on the practice squad. I really thought that he had that 6th wide receiver spot like locked up, but
I did too.
Yeah, but between the receivers and cornerbacks, those are 2. Apparently, we're just going to keep 5, and I just don't see that as the thing. I mean, we got to be adding somebody.
Yeah, and when we get to the defense, we're obviously going to get into that defensive line. But it's like when you looked at it, we looked at it a few weeks ago, and I'm looking at them like, man, this room has like 65 people in it. Like, it's going to be tough to like, they're all quality, right? Like, it's tough to cut one of those guys, and how important the defensive line is.
There's a role for each of them.
Exactly. And a lot of them are versatile too. They can move them down the line and play different positions. So it's tough to, make that. I understand why we kept so many of them, but all right, tight end, no big, whatever. Kyle Pitts, Charlie Warner, Ross Dwelly. I mean, pretty
nothing really
right?
there. I mean, John Fitzpatrick really missed his shot here to just go ahead and make that first cut, but it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, big dude, I'm excited to. I know this is weird and crazy, but I'm excited to see Charlie Warner, dude. Like, I mean, I'm talking about. Like, I like seeing guys block and throw folks around, just because he was on a team with Kittle, who was the best blocking tight end in the league. This Charlie Warner right there, like, the dude can block, and he can. He might be involved in the offense a little bit more. Hey, Jay, it's all good. Yeah, Casey is on the squad, man.
Absolutely.
He is the 5th receiver, man. Yep. And we brought back Chris Blair to the practice squad. So
can I ask you a question real quick, John?
Yeah, man.
Does the lack of production in preseason for Casey Washington, despite how many targets he got, does that bother you at all or no?
You know what? The last game was actually no, it wasn't the last game. The Baltimore game actually is the one that kind of So like he had some opportunities in there where he just flat out just missed it, right? And then there was a few times he was overshot. I look at his body type. I look at kind of like what he's made, like his mental makeup, and see what he did in Miami. And knowing he's going to be if he's on the field, he's going to be with the first team. So,
Exactly.
I didn't honestly know. I'll just kind of like,
Okay.
I wasn't that upset with it. What about you?
It was something that I wanted to monitor because it's
Mm,
like, okay, because it's like, okay, there's all these targets, but yet and still, you're still not able to
right.
get, you're not really able to make much of them. And in the NFL, that's a no-go.
Yeah, well, yeah, for sure. And like I said,
So
and I was like 100% on the train. The Baltimore game happened. I'm like, like there's just some ones you gotta, when you're trying to make a squad, you gotta catch those, And then
right.
there's other ones where it's either Taylor throwing the ball or it's just not,
Paddock, yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
the or Paddock, right? It's not the bet or Rourke or whatever, whatever the hell, right? It's just not. It wasn't great. You know what I mean? So like,
Right.
yeah. I think he's lucky that he had such a good game in Miami, because I think
I
that
think so too.
definitely helped his case. I
Mhm.
think if he would have been kind of like forgettable or had those then I think we're having maybe a different discussion right now.
Yeah, I
But
think I do think Blair jumps him then, but I
yeah,
don't.
agreed.
But he did enough, man. He did enough.
Agreed. Offensive line: Jake Matthews, Matt Bergeron, Drew Dahlman, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry, all the 5 starters we knew would be there. And then Ryan Newsel, Kyle Hinton, swing tackle Storm Norton, and kind of, I guess you could say, a surprise, Joe Von Gwynn
A little.
at center/guard or whatever. I mean, hey, man, that's a win, dude. You get a 7th-round pick from last year on the squad this year. Like, anytime you can get a 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th rounders to stick, I don't care whether they're starting or not. That's a good pick. You know what I mean?
So I have a hot take when it comes to Javon Gwynn. I do think that if we do bring somebody in, I think he's one of the first ones that gets dropped to the practice squad.
Mm,
Despite him having a really good preseason,
you
I
did.
really I want to say he allowed one pressure the entire 3 games that he played, and he played in all 3. So
He
it's
did.
like, I think that we may have found a nice little piece in Gwen that I think we can develop into. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's like you said, he's a 7th rounder, and he wasn't
Yeah.
really meant to be much like when he came out of South Carolina.
Right.
But
Yeah, he's an undersized guy, right? I mean, so
exactly, yeah, he's an undersized guy. That's why we had to put him at center. But I think we may have found a nice, like a nice little interior piece. I mean, he's showed he I don't know. I'm optimistic. I'll say that.
yeah, I mean, he was a captain in South Carolina, and you can be undersized and still be strong as a fucking bull, right? Like that's still possible. Like
Exactly.
but you just because it's all about leverage, right? But you can't be like I couldn't go play offensive tackle or offensive guard, right? You have to like the size has to be comparable, but you know what I mean. Like it's got to be,
Right.
so he's in that range, Yeah, and what you were just saying. And this is via PFF: 83.8 pass blocking grade, 73.4 run blocking grade, 84 pass blocking out of 84 pass blocking snaps. Yes, only 1 pressure allowed. So I
That's
mean,
tough. That's
that's tough,
tough.
dude.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, man. And like as my dad would say, man, I don't care if you're playing in a chicken shit league, man. That's good squad. That's good stats right
That's
there,
good.
man. It's good stats.
That's good
Um,
snacks right there.
so all right. The defensive line. Let's get to the defense. So this is the room full of guys, and literally full of guys, like guys. You know what I mean?
Man.
So Grady Jarrett, David Onyemata, Taquan Graham, Zach Harrison, Eddie Goldman made the squad. Love it. JR, if you're watching or listening, you do have to get a huge Eddie Goldman head and put it behind you for the rest of your recording. All right. Rook Ororo, Brandon Dorless, and James Smith Williams round out the very, very deep defensive line room. Obviously, with Bryce being out for the year. Braylon, I'm sorry, not Bryce. Braylon Trice being out for the year with his injury, that definitely takes all that. Well, he would have been in the outside linebacker room, though. I guess I mean, technically, since that's kind of changed over the years. But yeah, so that's a pretty deep ass room, and that's what I was saying with Logue. It's a tough one to make. And then you had guys like Damone Harris who did really well. Was Damone outside linebacker as well? Is that considered
Damone
an
is outside
outside
linebacker,
linebacker?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. See, like back in like the 90s, that's not the case. He'd have been a defensive lineman anyway.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I mean, dude, I don't remember a time we've had this much depth, and I know some of this depth is perceived depth because they are rookies, right? So it's like we think we got this out of these guys, but man, like, how are you feeling about this line?
I feel really good. I feel like this is because you got to think about it. The last guy on this line, probably Taquan Graham. And
Right.
I don't know if you remember what Taquan Graham did for us in 21, but
he was like our first guy off the bench. Yeah, man.
That was a stout dude when it came to the run game. So from having him be a full-on contributor in 21, of course he had the injury, but for him to probably be like the last guy on this line now, and he hasn't regressed anything. He's still the same guy. He may be actually a bit better if he developed from his or he developed past his injury. But like, that's insane. Like,
yeah, dude.
And getting Eddie Goldman, I mean,
huge.
Don't get me wrong, that he may not be the same Eddie Goldman that he was in Chicago, but good gosh, man, I mean that's a lot of depth, man. That's a lot of guys that you can just deploy in so many different ways.
I mean, I said last week. I mean, I know you probably thought about this too, because you sit there and think about the different packages you can put him out there. But you think there will be a package where there's Eddie Goldman in the middle, flanked by Grady Jarrett and flanked by Onyemata. Like, my God, like that's a big, tough middle of your defensive line right there. Like, that's going to cause problems, especially if you're throwing a 5-man front out there as well. Like, and you got the edges too. Like, I mean, dude, I'm telling you, like just please stay healthy. All you guys, please stay healthy. But
please stay healthy. Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, like you said, Taquan was like starter 1B for us. You know what I mean? A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you might get on the field.
You might get on the field. You might get on the field. And honestly, I think if we add another corner, I think that might be another guy that might get pushed down to practice squad. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, we are miles away from, where we were like a couple of years ago, where we were just like, yo, just do what you can against the run.
Right.
Just do what you can.
Just hang in there, man. Just hang in there.
Just hang in there for us. Right. We're not there anymore. We actually have guys where we can dictate the trenches, and that is an incredible thing to say now.
Because, I mean, 85% easily of Falcons fans for the last, I don't know, 40 years have been screaming, like, what about the trenches? All right.
Well, what about the trenches?
Finally, somebody did something about it. So, and even on the offensive line, we've got, easily one of the better offensive lines in the game as well.
Absolutely.
So we can't complain about that. We'll pop back in the chat real quick. Jordan said, talking about Casey Washington, said, I feel like the QBs didn't do him any favors with some of the bad throws. Interesting to see what Cousins. Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, I'm right there with you, man. And Timothy said, he did well with Penix and Mammy. Great point. Yep, that was Penix. So he was catching those balls from. Yep.
And that's
Marlon. What's
like
up,
you
man?
said. I think that's what kept his job. Yep, what's good, Marlon? Yeah. I think that's what 100%. Kept his job, is the fact that he had that chemistry with Penix. So yeah,
for sure. Yeah, man, Zion, big man, big freaking monster. Dude. Yeah, for sure. And John, what's going on? Good to see you, man. It's been a while, John. Good to see you back in there, man. About ready for that season, man. And Timothy said, can we say Room is pretty decent? It's all right. I mean, we'll get to it. It's probably the most controversial room in the room. Whatever. Well, on the lineman though, hey, look. I'm glad, like you said, I'll finish off with it. I'm glad Goldman made the squad. I'm excited to see what he can be after 2 years of being off. Like I said, Zach Harrison, excited to see what year 2 can be for him as much as strong as he came on at the end of last season. Like, I can't wait to see what and added 20 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Wow.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Grady looks and says he feels the healthiest he's ever been. Onyemata is just a grown-ass man with some of the strongest hands you're going to see. Contavious Street came in and just did nothing but fill in for us and kick ass while he was here. Rook, Brandon, hey, man, I just want to see y'all hit the field and actually just get after it. And Rook, we saw, and like that power,
he was
and
nice.
Speed. And
he
Baltimore
was nice.
Yes. Was it Jacksonville?
Jacksonville. It was Jacksonville. Yeah.
That was
the first.
Nice
it was the first time we kind of saw Rook kind of be what we like to kind of like. What is it? You kind of saw for the first time what Terry and Raheem saw in Rook. It was like,
he's athletic freak, a raw athletic freak that just needs to be like, okay, this is what you got to do. Hone in on these, on this technique, and then go get the quarterback. Dorless, same thing. And James Smith Williams, like I said, he's played a bigger role than I thought he would ever probably play. But like he was, I think it listed like right as starting. Like, well, I know starters is kind of like whatever, because it's going to be
when we first got here
with the base package. Yeah, right. So I mean, yeah. But yeah, anything else on the line, man?
Actually, now that you talk about it, James Smith Williams on the defensive line is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool.
Outside linebacker. You know, like he's putting him at the 5, because that's what he was here for. He was here for run support. So seeing him kind of, seeing him probably being in that, what is it, that 5, that 4-eye. I mean, I think that'd be pretty fun.
Yeah, I do too. I think I totally agree. Lisa said we have players that want to be here, which is major, 100%, and players that wanted to come here too, which is even better.
Actually wanted to be here. Yeah,
exactly. She said, I'm ready for us to
volunteers, not hostages.
Steelers. Oh, exactly. Ark, what's up, brother, man? Good to see you, dude. He said, rise up, squad. Judon will not only help the youth of the defensive line, but create holes and opportunities to sack. That's right. The quarterback, absolutely, man. It's going to be, we're about to hit that room right now. Outside linebackers, Matthew Judon, Lorenzo Carter, Ebiketie, and D'Angelo Malone making the squad again, just to show you one more time that special teams is such a huge factor when it comes to these things, man. And look, the dude showed up on damn near every special teams play. He's in
every time.
He's there.
Every time, baby.
There's guys that make careers are based around special teams, and he may be one of those guys because again, we've when he was drafted, it's like, all right, well, where is he going? Is he going to be a linebacker? Is he going to be on the line? Like, he's just that weird size, right? Like he can't. If he gains weight, he's going to lose like maybe some of his speed, which is one of his better attributes. So it's like we don't want him to do that, but I don't know. Like, so still not there on defense. Really, like you want to see, but hey, man, like shout out to D'Angelo, man, making the squad again. And I guess that would have been the only spot where I was like, maybe Damone Harris would have got that, and sort of
right.
You know what I mean? But again, special teams, and with the kickoff change, like special teams is even more important than it was last year.
I was just about to say that. So, that was going to be my point. It was going to be like, listen, I think if anybody benefited from the special teams change, it was D'Angelo Malone, because he has that almost perfect build for it, where it's like you're not too big, like you're not too big to like not like you to throw people around, but you're also like small enough to where you can be shifty enough to get to a ball carrier. Like it's almost it was almost made for D'Angelo Malone. So
agreed.
Just happy for him, man, because I have so much D'Angelo Malone stocks.
I mean, dude, and this goes for even the guys that got cut. I have so much respect for those guys that go out there and just like bust their ass in the heat,
100%.
Beat up their bodies, and whether you make the team or not, man, you went out there, man, and gave everything in your body to make the team. And then they're, for the guys to hang on, man, like it's an awesome feeling. And I can imagine what they're feeling like, because especially somebody that's been kind of like on the fringe, so.
Yeah, no, like that's the thing. You're sitting there putting your body out there, and it's not a guarantee that it's going to come to fruition. Yeah, exactly. There's no guarantees that you're going to come out of here with a roster spot here or anywhere else. Yep. So you're just going out there on a wing and a prayer, and that's literally betting on yourself. So 100%.
Yeah, man. Johnny, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. Hey, man, just excited for next Sunday, man. Just excited.
Oh my God.
All right. And we all know, man, like Ark was saying in the chat about Judon. Yeah, Judon's gonna just
there's nothing to say.
Just a massive ad, man. Like I don't even know.
Oh my God. Can't.
I mean, we're having a way different discussion about this room right now if Matthew's not here. Like it's just what he provides, like Ark said, not just for his own numbers. Like you have to, like you can't ignore that man. Like you're going to have somebody chipping, somebody like there's going to be, and we've got our interior is going to be ridiculous. And then who's coming from the other side? It's going to open up. Yeah, you're going to open up chances for these guys to eat all across the line. Who's coming in on a blitz? Like, there's just so many different ways that, that one dude can influence. And that's the thing. We haven't had that one dude there since John Abraham, man. So it feels great, buddy. It feels great.
100%. And also mixing that with the fact that we have this penny front. I was watching something on it yesterday, and the way that it gives you opportunities for one-on-ones across the line.
Yes.
You can scheme up ways to get Matthew Judon on a right tackle by himself. And let's say that right tackle, this is poking the bear a little bit, but let's say that right tackle is Trevor Penning. You feel pretty good about Matthew Judon getting to the quarterback at that point in time. You know what I mean? So it's so I feel like there's reasons to be optimistic with the Judon signing and all that other stuff, because let's say, and again, really sorry about Braylon Trice, and the way that he went out, because that was absolutely horrible.
It was, man.
My heart literally dropped. But you're not as excited if Matthew Judon isn't there, and this is Braylon Trice, Carter, Ebiketie, and let's say Malone or Damone. Right. You're just not. So again, like it feels. I'm really happy that we have Matthew Judon, but I'm also really sad because I did want to see Braylon Trice this year. So, you take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I mean, it's he was coming on strong, man. Like, you could tell him, you could see he was starting to really get it. And during that game before he got hurt, I mean, you could see the explosion, you could see the power, like
starting to get
there. It's like, man, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, no way. But you hate to see it, but yeah, I mean, the fact that, and dude, you and I haven't talked, but like, since Judon's press conference, man, what he said about the Falcons don't know him at all. They just know what he's done. He's going to go out there and earn it. Like, you don't hear that. You never hear that from anybody in the league. It's like, okay, when am I going to get paid? I need to get paid now.
Yeah,
especially from a guy that's 32 that's been there and done that. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, to hear that, dude, I mean, like, man, refreshing as hell. And he's going to go out there and try to get out, because he knows he's playing for a contract, whether it's here or somewhere else. You know what I mean? So, like, you're going to get the best out of him regardless. Before we move on, Johnny said, what's your perspective on the new special teams dynamic? Saivion.
I believe that it is, first of all, just a great way to keep people on the couch while the kickoff is going, because I surely was not watching kickoff like that.
Nope.
Last season.
Nobody was.
I definitely wasn't. No. But yeah, it definitely was. It's a great way to get guys that, like D'Angelo Malone, that may not have that place on a defense or an offense. It gives them something to like specialize in. And I think that that's something that we're going to be able to see in the league, going forward. Like, you see these guys that specialize in like coverage or specialize in returning, and not saying that we don't have these before, but I mean, I think you're going to see a bit more of it now, like more of a focus on the third phase of the game. And I don't know. I feel like that in itself is just better for the game of football.
Totally. And I'm really old school when it comes to football, like just in general, right? Because I'm older. I'm like 42 and stuff. But I mean, like,
yeah, he's 42, guys. He looks like that at 42. It's crazy.
So, you see my beard, right? I stopped coloring it, so it's just flat out fucking. It's just gray as shit now. So like that reminds me every day that I'm 42. But no, like, but when they, when the kickoff got moved, and it's like, it basically took it out of the game. I was like, well, this sucks. This is boring. Like you said, you don't even care to watch the first. Like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna get my food. I'm gonna get my beer, whatever the case may be, right? But now to like bring this, to change it like this, I'm like, oh, okay, like, yeah, this actually does make it more entertaining. This makes it more interesting. Like you said, you're going to have jobs now for guys specifically for this. And I'm interested to see what these special team coaches are going to do with these like it's not going to be as vanilla and as just, okay, let's just set up and return the ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be some some little
There's going to be
misdirections.
reverses. There's going to be all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
There's going to be all sorts of things that we're going to figure out. They're going to earn their money this year for sure, because they're going to have to, whether they're defending it or running it. So like they're going to figure it out. But yeah, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun, man. Jones Bones, what's up, dude? He said, why do some feel we need more wide receivers when the offense is mainly going to live in 12 personnel?
Mostly because there's all this hype about the fact that we were never in 11 personnel last year. It was the fact that we were dead last by a lot. I think it was like we had used 11 personnel 17% under Arthur. And yeah, we're going to live in 12 personnel, but that's only because Kyle Pitts is a 12. He's almost like an 11 and a half. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, because he's called a tight end. So
he's called a tight end. Yeah. Sorry, that's my dog. But yeah. Yeah, it's going to be that we have a actual tight end in Charlie Warner. Not to say that Kyle Pitts isn't, but he isn't. And Kyle Pitts, I mean, we may not need another receiver, but I understand why somebody would want another receiver, because let's be honest, who's the vertical threat that you can count on? I understand that we have Darnell Mooney, but his bag is usually just winning one-on-one on the outside when it comes to his route running, not necessarily beating people vertically. And we already saw what it's like when Kyle Pitts is a vertical threat. You can use Drake London there, but that's not what you want to have Drake London. Mostly what you want is an actual vertical threat down the field. That's why when John Mechie was one of the guys that came open, I was like, okay, let's see if we can bring him here. But yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why, because we don't have that bona fide vertical threat yet. But
yeah,
we'll see.
I can see that. Johnny said, hit the like button. And yeah, man, appreciate it. If y'all are here, man, hit that like button. We appreciate you. DJ, what's cracking, man? Good to see you, dude.
What's going on, boss?
All right. So inside linebackers, no shocking, nothing there. I mean, Caden Ellis, Troy Anderson, Nate Lamb, JD Bertrand, not a shock at all. JD was out there a lot. I mean, JD's been talked about several times by Raheem, by everybody. Very smart. I like the dude. A little undersized, you know what I mean? But smart as hell, a good tackler for the most. Like, you could tell that first game, like, he was a little behind.
He was thinking. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, just play. You know what I mean? Like, just play. Because, like, then as you saw him getting more,
there were flashes. Yeah, there were like little flashes when in the Miami game.
Right. And then Baltimore, Jack, you saw like just him becoming more comfortable and just going and making plays. And like, look, he's in film all the time. He's studying. Like, I'm not going to argue about having a guy like that, on the field or behind the three that we have, especially not 100% sure what's up with, Caden's growing and like, somebody didn't, what's his name? Nate have a quad or something like that. So yeah, hopefully they're all good by next weekend. But yeah,
I think they will be. I think that more so this talks to more about
whoa. Jordan just said the Falcons just traded Heineke to the Chargers. Appreciate that, Jordan. Saivion is on it at the moment because he just thought, dude, I didn't mean to interrupt you either. I just happened to see Jordan see that. I was like, whoa, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, for a conditional 6th round pick per Diana Rossini.
Let's go. I'll take a 6th round pick.
Well, we said that he was traded, so
hey, but like way before we thought. I mean, I wasn't, All right, cool. That works.
All right. Good for him.
Yeah. Good job, Taylor. Yeah. And all right, cool. All right. Thanks, Jordan. Appreciate that, man. I would not have known that until the end of the show. Liam, what's going on, man? They just got back. We're lucky that my dog didn't just destroy the house because they left to go get food. And all I could hear was him just running around, hitting the door. So
that's what he's doing right now. He's just out here just tearing up toys right now.
Yeah, man. So I'm lucky. Like, hopefully the house is still intact and the door is not, destroyed.
I'll pray
so,
for you.
Yeah. All right. All right. And the corner room, AJ Terrell, Mike Hughes, D. Alford, Clark Phillips III, and Antonio Hamilton, which for everybody all the guys that we followed that were there at camp, I kept seeing Antonio Hamilton's name pop up as like D. Alford better watch out. like that. Like he was just that good. Like he was very, very good. So not a surprise that he made the squad. I was rooting for Kevin King. Great, like I said earlier in the show, great story. Obviously made the pick down in Miami. Had him out there at safety during the Jacksonville game. I guess trying to see what could happen there. Obviously gets cut, and then if y'all missed it earlier, he's back on the practice squad. So good to see him back. So yeah, I'm not super shocked by that. I thought again maybe we would carry 6, but that defensive line room is so damn big, So it's like you got to make cuts somewhere. So I get why, I understand why you want the defensive line room to be as deep as possible. And and like I said, none of these names surprise me. Like you and I and everybody else taught end of last year, we figured Mike Hughes was going to be gone, right? Like just gone.
Could have sworn.
Right. And so I had to completely reset and be like, okay, he's going to be a starting CB too. And so I started digging into more like about Mike Hughes and looking at more film. And like, okay, he actually played pretty well outside when he was playing outside. Like when he played inside, that's not his strong suit. So going to give him a shot out there. We're going to have to, right? We have no choice, right? Because he's our CB2 right now. Like again, though, like I hope it works out. I just want to see it, and actually we haven't been on the show since, or I haven't since AJ got the bag. So congrats to AJ for securing the money.
AJ,
I did a quick little. I was in the car ladder line. I did a quick little video about that. So I'm good with it, man. Like he's, I think he gets overlooked a lot. And I know last year, he's going to have some bad spots here and there, man. But that's the job of a corner, dude. Like you're going to get torched sometimes. And, like I said in that video, like the best corners just don't get torched as much. Like they're more consistently not getting beat, but the guys they're going against, especially guys like AJ, they're going against number 1s, number 2s. Like those guys are getting paid a lot of money for a reason. So sometimes they're going to win, just simple as that. It's like, but for the most part, and we know the interception numbers haven't been there, but I venture to say with the squad we have now, with the line, with hopefully the pass rush we're going to have, and the guys we now have on the back end,
we'll get to that too.
Yeah, that might go up a little bit. So anyway, safety room. Well, any thoughts on the corners before we move on?
Antonio Hamilton is a really cool study here, because I want to see if they use him like, let's say that Terrell or somebody like Terrell, Hughes, even Phillips may go down. I want to see what they do with him on the outside too, because he looked pretty good on the outside in Arizona too. He's not just a nickel guy. He can play both. So if they say if they were to use only 5 cornerbacks this year, it actually would not be that much of a shock.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah,
totally
because of his versatility. So
yeah, I'm with you on that. And Timothy said, I'm looking forward to see our defensive line open holes for those speedsters at MLB. Yeah, man. For our linebackers.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Lord, I cannot wait for Troy Anderson season to start. Good God.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you and me both, dude. You and me both. And then Ark said, they're using Heineke for future trade later on. The QB will get injured. Well, Ark,
it's not a future, anymore. We are here.
He gone. Oh man, and Gabriel just popped in. Taylor just got traded there. Everybody's popping in, telling me traded. Yeah, we know, man. So we didn't know until
we did not know.
We got it.
That was actually crazy.
Yeah, it's funny it happened right on the show. All right, safeties: Jesse Bates, some guy named Justin Simmons, and Richie Grant and Micah Abernathy. So clearly the two. I'll just be bullish and say the two of the best safeties in the league. Safety tandem, whatever you want to call it. We'll say that.
Absolutely.
Safety tandem. To have those guys there and like, man, dude. So I was happy when Judon signed Saivion, but dude, like I literally pulled over and just like jumped around in my car and like I was like a meme when that happened, man.
It doesn't feel real still. That's how crazy this is. This doesn't feel real.
That 24-hour span, right? Because like I told them last week, I was like, I'm not even over that. Like we don't, as Falcons fans, we have rarely experienced a 24 to 36 hours like that, right?
At all. And shout out to Terry, man, because I was on him all
dude, a few people
off season, bro. I'm like, yo, I know you see this defense, man. You got to do something.
Yeah.
He did something. He did a lot. So Shout out to Terry, man. I'll give credit when it's due.
Yeah, man. 100%.
Yeah.
Jay said, so who is the practice squad QB?
That's a good question. I mean, you got to go back to the drawing board now. I mean, the first, let's see, I think it was Trayshawn that said in our roundtable, please still read us after I say this, that said that we could go and get Desmond back because, why not? I mean, you don't really get many guys on the practice.
Can you imagine?
Do you understand how much? No. Do you understand? No. I don't think you can bring him back into the room, into the city, man.
City, brother, the city. Like, and that survive. I don't think he even would want to. Like he'd be like, no,
I don't think so either, man.
It's a scarring freaking experience. I'm good. Like, yeah,
man. Let that man go back to what is it? Let that man enjoy himself in freaking Arizona, man.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
But as far as quarterbacks go, I don't even know if there's anybody for real that we can. I don't know. I got to look at it.
We'll find somebody. I'm not even worried about it. Because hopefully they're not going to see the field. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Jordan said we're lucky we got anything. Didn't look at it. I mean, yeah, no, dude, didn't. You're right. No, I think they kind of fleeced him with the 6th rounder. So like, we're good. I'm good with that. Jamal, what's up, dude? Good to see you, man.
Yo.
Mike is doing great, man. Mike will be back next week. Either Tuesday or Thursday. We got to nail down a show date. It's normally Wednesdays. Again, for y'all that miss it at the beginning of the show, Wednesdays at 7 is going to be our preview show for the game coming up. But Liam just has we have a parent baseball meeting at his school next Wednesday, so we got to go to that. So he'll be back though, man. He can't wait to get back. So yeah, like we said, safeties: Jesse, Justin, Richie, Micah Abernathy. Again, like I was on the Richie train for a long time. I wanted my guy to just keep to just do it. And last season, I had to jump way the hell off because it just stuff kept going bad, man. Stuff kept going bad all
the worst part is there were flashes from Richie. It's just that the things it's just like whenever he would get beat to sleep.
Yes.
And so it was like we can't have this. Like you're not doing enough to kind of mitigate. It was almost like Ritter. It's like, yo, we can't keep what is it? Apologizing for you, man. We can't keep
right. And I tried. And it's like, and I've said it before on the show. I apologize for those who heard me say it before, but like it was the Kate Otten, man, like against Tampa Bay, like one play in the end zone, like you have outside leverage. Like
you're already there. There's no way that he should get there.
Like there's no reason for you to even like fake inside because all your help is to the inside. And that's just, and I was like, man, like that just tells me you don't understand what you're looking at this point. Like
either you're not understanding or you're overthinking, and
it. Right.
Either way, that is just a horrible place to be in when you're the last line of defense.
Yeah, like that was the one place you could not let him go, and you already, like I said, you were already lined up outside. That's all you had to do was stay there. Just stay there.
You just got to stay there. You got to let him come to you.
Yeah. So after that, I was just like, no, I can't do it anymore. Like, I mean, I love you to death, but I can't do it anymore. But look, I mean, hopefully, we're going to see some 3 safety packages, no doubt about it. So there'll be opportunities for him to be out there, and hopefully. He's a tackling machine. Like he made like
that's what I was about to say. Him as a big nickel. I mean, I'm with that.
Yeah. And we should mention also DeMarco Hellum's placed on short-term IR, so he's got to be out through week 4 or 5?
Yep, designated to return though. And I like that.
Right. Me too. So that's probably like, I'm guessing he didn't break anything. It's probably like just a really, really bad sprain, which if you've had a really, really bad ankle sprain, that takes a while to come back. I'm pretty sure you have.
Physically and mentally.
Yeah, it does. It takes a bit because you have to be able to cut, and that thing sometimes doesn't want to cut. And if sometimes it's going to cut and it's going to just turn again, and then you're freaked out. So yeah, it's me one of those things, man. All right. Anything else about this? Well, Michael Abernathy doesn't surprise me either. Micah played well last year, I thought, even like as far as come and try to make the team, and then like I thought I should say this: the opportunities he got, I thought he played well. So it doesn't surprise me that he made the 4th spot there.
I do think that once DeMarco Hellums is back, I do think he goes to the practice squad.
Agreed.
I think that's the 3rd practice squad spot that's open.
Yeah.
But I will say that, let's say that, he looks good in these first couple of, he gets opportunities in these first 4 games and he looks good. Because
Right.
these first 4 games are against some dogs.
Bro,
So
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Some dogs. So let's say that he gets an opportunity and he looks good. He makes plays in like special teams or something. I don't know. I mean, he could find himself, giving the front office or the coaching staff something to think about.
Exactly, man.
Mm-hmm.
Jay said, "Hell no, leave Ritter where he's at." Yeah, no, yeah. Liam said he's the practice squad QB now. Hey, there you go. Liam got an arm.
Thank God. All right, we're good. We're straight.
Throw.
Thank God.
Yeah, we're good. I mean, he's not gonna see the field, so I'm all right with it.
Hey, how much does he need? I'm with it.
Man, dude, it's been on a side note, it's been a crazy, that man, dude, ever since he's become a pitcher now, like a pitcher only, it's been nonstop, like working out and going to throw and everything. It's great. I love it. It's been a busy summer, man.
Yeah.
A busy summer.
I believe it.
All right, specialists. Yeah. The guys, Young Ho Koo, Bradley Pinion, our punter, and then of course long snapper Liam McCullough. And that is the squad, guys. So I mean, you worried about Koo at all? And a lot of folks lose their mind when he missed those 3 in Baltimore.
Listen, I think it was Torrey McElhaney that said it the best. Who knows what they were trying to do? Who knows what they were trying to? Maybe they were trying to work with something to make the the routine more efficient, to make the holding more efficient, to make the snap more efficient. You know what I'm saying? Like this preseason, you get to try stuff.
Yeah, and I think right. I think
it didn't work.
I think Will McFadden made a great point too. Shout out to Will. He said, all 3 misses were left, right? Like they were all to the same spot,
every single one.
And he made the analogy to where, like, if you're playing golf and you're spraying the ball all over the place, well, you don't know what the hell you're doing, like, but if you're pulling the ball every time or you're slicing the ball every time, okay, well, I know how to make that that's an easy adjustment to make, so like yeah. So I'm not worried about it, man. I don't care that we lost the game. It's a preseason game. Like I didn't care. I mean,
we lost all 3. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. I just told him, I said, dude, I tweeted, I was like, just fix it before the season starts. We're good. That's all I care about. MW, brother, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude.
What's going on, boss?
All right, man. So any final thoughts on the roster? We got a few little storylines to get to here for going into week 1, but any final things from you?
Last thing I wanted to say about the Koo thing. I just wanted to say, like, look, he's fine. He's completely fine. Like we're gonna be okay. And as far as the preseason goes, I'm pretty sure it was the Peyton Manning led Colts that didn't win a preseason game for seasons on end. I mean, it's just an evaluation tool. It is, and
that's it.
We can tell from Raheem Morris, he doesn't like it very much, especially after Miami. So, yeah, I'm not putting too much stock into what happened during preseason. It's literally just an evaluation tool for the team. And yeah, let's go ahead and get ready for week 1, man.
Yeah, I totally agree, dude. You look at what Belichick said on the Pat McAfee show, like he was like, yeah, I don't really take into account much about especially quarterbacks during the preseason, because it's very vanilla. It's very and that's from both sides of the ball. They're not rolling out anything.
You're not seeing anything.
No, it's it's literally just kind of read and react type of thing. It's very basic plays. It's very basic everything. So it's like, yeah, you're going to get some reps, but I mean, are those reps going to really translate to the games? Like you got the games that matter against coverages that are going to change and that are going to be more, like, I just don't, I mean, you look at what happened to Jacoby Brissett, dude, he got flattened, and I know Drake May was probably going to end up starting at some point anyway, but that's why you don't, because especially in the 3rd game, you got guys trying to make the squad for what in any way they possibly can, man. So it's like, you don't want Yeah.
Did you see what Albert Breer praise us for that? Praise us for the way that we handled that?
No way.
Dude, I made a whole article on it. I was like, are you serious?
Oh, okay. Like like a parallel universe or some shit going on here. That's awesome.
Yeah, Of course, he put the caveat in there, like, look, I don't know if I would condone this still, but I get it. I get it. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
mean, like I said last week, with Jack and them, like the Steelers play their starters damn near every year. Like they started off like ass last year. I mean, there's no right or wrong, really, to be honest. There's no like guaranteed formula. This is what works and this is what doesn't. Like it just kind of.
The one thing I think you can get from preseason, and this is from shout out to Cody Alexander of Match Quarters, who does an amazing job with all sorts of defensive stuff and scheme and all that type of thing. What you can do is you can see kind of what the base coverages may look like, because teams want to see how players will look in certain coverages, certain things, even if it is just like install. So I think you can kind of get a good feel of like what type of coverages we're going to be utilizing a lot. I'm going to be monitoring that because we used a lot of cover 6, like I think the second most of any team this preseason. So I want to see if we're going to be doing that as well going into the season.
That's kind of similar to the Rams in last year, right? Because then the Rams ran a lot of that.
Exactly, a whole bunch of quarter stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. From that aspect of it, but and I would love to have seen Penix more, but I understand. If Kirk gets hurt, you can't afford to have Penix hurt too. And like Jay said, if Kirk gets hurt, we need to back up Penix. Yeah, and so you hope you don't happen. That you hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, we're gonna have somebody in there. We just know it's going to be at this point. I'm also heard we got back a 10-piece slim pepper extra ranch. No celery or no carrots or anything like.
No. That's it.
Oh,
I mean, that's what the condition. That's what the condition is.
Oh, they said okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So heading into, and obviously we're not going to do a full preview of the game because it's not this week, but
not yet.
Just a few early storylines heading into next week, man. Russ got named as starter. Was that what you were thinking was going to happen, or did you think it was going to go to Justin?
I think that Russ should be the starter. I don't think he's going to remain the starter. And it's not going to be because of something like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like, he looked horrible against the Falcons. Week 2, put in Justin. But I do think Justin just gives you more. Like, out of the 2 possibilities that we could have got, I think we got the better one, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I do think that Justin gives you just more juice. You saw what Arthur Smith could do with Marcus Mariota's running ability. Think about what he could do with a tank at quarterback instead of instead of Mariota. So it's like, I think that I won't say it's easier. I'll just say that because Russell still has things that Justin Fields can't do. Russell's deep ball is much better than Justin Fields when he decides to uncork it.
It may take him 5 minutes, but yeah.
May take him 5 minutes, but if it gets there, it's getting there. It's good. I still think he has the ability to hand a football off 40 yards on the field, so that's scary. But I do think that there's less explosion that you have to worry about when it comes to Russell Wilson at this stage than you do with Justin Fields.
For sure. Yeah. And I was half-assed joking, but yeah, he does hold the ball a while. He's been known to that his entire career.
Yeah, both of them do.
You're right. But like you said, the Justin's capability and speed nowhere close, or is Russ is nowhere close to Justin when it comes to that. And unfortunately, Justin torched the shit out of us last year in Chicago in the driving snow. So I mean, there's that. But and I'm sure there'll be probably a Justin Fields sighting during the game. I'm sure they'll bring, knowing Arthur.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah.
Mike Tomlin, I think, said it on the Rich Eisen show that there's going to be a couple of packages of Justin Fields, and I'm sure there is going to be. Knowing Arthur Smith, who knows what that's going to look like? I mean, he probably won't be throwing the ball.
It could be him just exactly. Yeah, he might be lined up as a running back, or tight end taking the snap. We got CP back at quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Who the hell knows, dude? I mean, once once I saw who was it that threw the football? Was it freaking Jonnu that threw it, or was he the one that
Yes.
that was catching it?
I think it wasn't it, John?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I think it was
Yeah.
Jonnu to Michael. Once I saw that, I was like, oh, anything is on the table for this this offense. Who the hell knows? He's just throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah, I mean the Steelers folks are a little concerned about that. Which I mean, you look at their wide receiving core. I mean, George Pickens. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, dude,
no, I mean, really, it really is. Like, it's George Pickens and then the rest of the receiving core that we had here.
Van Jefferson, Scotty Miller. I mean, like literally, it's crazy. CP. I mean, I don't know how you're going to be using him. You know, whether it's, but whatever. You know, it's
we know how that movie ends. So
sure do. Seen that one a few times. And then the injuries they have on their offensive line right now, dude. Like those guys keep falling.
A ton. Yeah. And there's, I mean, of course, you never want to wish, you know, that type of stuff on anybody, but I think it was EV that said it on Twitter. If I don't see 3+ sacks, I'm concerned because I think you can get possibly 3 just off Judon. If I'm being honest.
Isn't there potentially a rookie tackle going, right?
Oh, let me see. I think Broderick Jones has to be. He doesn't know where he's going to be playing.
I saw that too, which is insane.
Like,
how do you get?
I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. And you know, like you want to, of course, not week 1, but you want to kind of root for Arthur because it's like, man, you need a fresh start, buddy. But it looks like more of the same dysfunction. Right. Yeah, like more of the same dysfunction, just in black and yellow. Like,
I thought for sure, like when he went into the office, probably to hopefully or maybe fight for his job before he was fired, he was like, "Hey, man, look, I know where I messed up. I just chose the wrong quarterback. Give me a shot. Let's get a bona fide quarterback in here. Watch what I can do with this offense." I'm not even sure he said that at this point because he's doing the same thing so far. Like as far as the roster building, and he has to have input in it, right? It's not just. I mean, it's his offense, right? So I mean, like you're going to ask, I mean, it's like so. I don't know, man. It just seems like I kept thinking to myself, there's no way he can be like that. People kept saying on our show some of that. He's just too stubborn. And Mike would be like, he's too stubborn. And so I'm like, yeah, you can be stubborn, but like he's not an idiot. Like he's, you don't get this far about.
And that's the thing. He's not an idiot, and I can tell that we can all see that he's not an idiot. It's just the fact that I really do think that he might be that stubborn, and
which is crazy, yeah.
Which is crazy because you see that it's not working. You have to adapt. You don't have Derrick Henry anymore. You don't have AJ Brown anymore. You don't have these two, this monster receiver and this receiver that you can kind of piggyback your offense off of anymore. You don't have that. You have to be able to adapt. I mean, people aren't going to just let you run outside zone on them all day. They're just not.
Nah.
Like, I didn't realize how stubborn he was until I looked at these numbers. Do you know that we were dead last in run percentage last year, like running up the middle?
Yeah.
It was so bad from us to the Miami Dolphins at 31. That difference was the same as the Miami Dolphins, and I think it was the Philadelphia Eagles at 17.
Golly.
He refused to run it up the middle. He refused to run it. He refused to run any type of mid zone, any type of, power, anything between the guard and the center. He refused to run it because that's not what he runs. But it's like, you got to do something. You know what I'm saying? You got to have something.
Yeah, I mean, like when we hit the bye week last year, we were at that point. I was already doing the film, right? The film review, that like the entertaining film review. I shouldn't say it. I don't do it like a coach does. But I thought, like I told Mike, I was like, I can't wait to see what changes he makes because he's going to get in there and be like, okay, this didn't work. There wasn't a damn change. I mean, not a damn thing. I mean, it was. Yeah, okay, this play has worked 3% of the time. We're going to keep running it against the same coverages. And it was just like, what? Like,
it's the definition of insanity.
100%. Yeah.
The definition of insanity. And he did, and I'm not saying this, number one, both Ritter and Smith, both of them are intertwined when it comes to blame for last season.
Oh, dude, it was 100%. I'm glad you said that.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Both of them are intertwined with I'm putting it all on them, but that's where you start.
This is what happened. This is what happened. When Smith would call a really good play, Ritter would miss it. And then when there would be time,
Smith, yeah,
it was like, because like there was an entire. I'm sorry we got off on this tangent, guys. I could do this for an hour and a half, but there was a time when but before I started watching the film, I'm like, I was all on Arthur's ass. I'm like, he's terrible. This is the worst play call I've ever seen. I started watching the film. No, he wasn't the worst play caller I haven't seen. The quarterback play from him and Taylor was so bad, that
the few times that Arthur would like dial it up, couldn't even capitalize on it.
No, you would either miss the throw or not even see it. Like, I'm talking about a dude to be running like, hey, yo, I'm here. And not even turn the head or make a different throw or whatever. I was losing my mind, dude. I would text Mike during the film. I'm like, dude, you're not going to believe this shit. And then, like, he couldn't wait because he thought Taylor was going to be so much better. I'm like, bro, I got bad news for you, dude.
I got horrible news for you, man.
But,
because if they weren't one and the same, they both had their different freaking just – oh my God. Last year was so wild. And I'm just glad because now you see Michael Penix going into it's preseason. Everything's vanilla. I get it. But you see Michael Penix going into a press conference like, yeah, I looked the wrong way. Can't have that, but I still got to hit the check down. Like, okay, but he still got a positive out of it. You know what I'm saying? If Ritter does it, it's either a net zero or a negative. Like, it was insane.
Yeah, it's all about that processing, man. It's all about that. And I guess some guys can have it and it just clicks and they know it, and some guys just don't, and that's just what it boiled down to. Other than that, man, I mean, my only true concern is that Steelers defense is still pretty solid, and somebody said in the chat, DeMons, what's up, man? He said, what's up, y'all? So if Caleb McGarry can hold JJ Watt for a bit enough for Cousins to let loose, then we're good. And that's honestly, that's one of my bigger concerns because we've seen and I like Caleb, and I've gave Caleb a lot of shit on this show.
A ton.
Not for his run blocking again, because he's a fantastic run blocker. It's just he's always had issues with speed rushers, right? And JJ Watt's about as speedy and powerful as you can get, so like that's a little concerning. But you know what? If there's a Charlie Warner out there, or if there's a Tyler Algier chipping, or even a Bijan or whatever, I mean, come up with something to help the man out. You know what I mean? But yeah, the defense is still pretty solid. But yeah, we should not come away with a loss in this game.
I'm not saying I don't see a way that it happens. There's just the what is it, the multiverse thing with what is it, Endgame, where Doctor Strange is doing the thing and he's like, this is like, I'm not saying there's only one way that this could, there's more than that, but I just feel like there's a lot of timelines where we win this game and we win it handedly. Agreed.
Yeah, I just with everything going in, their uncertainty on offense, Russ, the offense itself, this injuries on the offensive line, which is just massive. The fact that we don't have, knock on wood, any injuries on our defensive line. Those guys are healthy. Right. Not to mention, again, we can't underscore the importance of Simmons in this defense, man. Like, it just, him and Bates in the back end.
You just made this defense. You just made the back end of that defense completely interchangeable. That's what you did. You made the back end of that defense. They can both play up and play in run fits. They both are extremely well versed in causing havoc when going back, like in coverage. You could have one. You have one going high. One is the robber, and you'll never know which one is which.
Nope. It makes this the pre-snap reads now for the quarterbacks are going to be hell. Because they're not gonna. I mean, they're not gonna know and then like they're gonna have to. Man, I don't want to get too excited. It's a weird feeling for me, Saivion. It's a weird feeling, brother.
I know. It just it opens up so many possibilities that going into going into August. You didn't think we're there.
I know, dude. I know. What a few comments, man, and close this thing down. We're up to about 120, man. I know you got to go, and I got to get some food. Ark said, "Get rid of Heineke, freeze up another spot. Could that be for another wideout?" Well, we got to replace the QB. We do have to have a practice squad QB. But again, there could be some movement, man, in that wide receiver or that corner room. You know, there still could be something going on there. Let's see. Liam said, "Put King on the squad. I want that man on the team." I mean, you know, I think he'll maybe get some playing time this year. And Jamal, yeah, man, I wanted. We both talked about that.
I do too.
Yeah,
I do too.
Yeah. Hey, Jamal, didn't know that, dude. Roll Tide, baby. I love it. Let's go. No idea. And hey, I'm not even bringing up the game last week, Saivion. So
I appreciate that. I thoroughly appreciate that. Just remember, everybody, run the damn ball.
That's right. That's right, man. Man, I'm trying to get see if anybody else had some comments here. Let's see. Liam said, he is a Tech fan, but it's because he wants to go play baseball there. So I can't fault him for that. So good school. I'm good. I'm down with that.
School. Yeah, very happy for you.
Mark, what's going on? Mark Cheney, buddy. Good to see you, dude. Make sure y'all check out Mark on YouTube, man. Doing great stuff. We'll have Mark back on relatively soon, man. I missed him earlier. Mark filled in too when Mike's been gone, man. So yeah. Let's see. Nick, what's going on, man? He said bye-bye Heineke. Yeah, dude. See you, Mike.
Yeah.
We got a 6, man. It's good. It's also going to be hard rooting for against. I know. I love CP. Dude, CP was so nice to Liam, dude. CP signed everything Liam had. Signed his jersey. Liam has a CP jersey. Like, I hate it. But
I know. But I mean, it works for him. And plus, he's going to have this freaking dynamic kickoff. As long as it doesn't do anything week 1, I can't wait for him. I can't wait to see him in it.
Yeah, exactly. Jamal said he's just too prideful, and he hired
yes
men instead of coaches around him. Which, you know what? You never.
Not Yates. I don't think Yates is a yes man. I think Yates is just trying to figure out, how he's going to do his thing when he gets his shot at being OC. But
I can see that from what's his name though? OC last year. Mine just went blank.
Oh my God,
Dave Ragone.
Yeah,
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, I could see that too.
Yeah. Jones said some coaches just set in their ways and simply can't adapt, don't have the skill to do it, referring to Arthur. Yeah, it's unfortunately more common than we like. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah,
dude.
I know.
Alberto, what's up, dude? So, hey, fellas, what's going on? Other than the wins, what expectations y'all wanted to see from Raheem first quarter of the season?
Other than wins, be competitive in everything that you in every game. You got some tough hitters from freaking Pittsburgh. We have to go to Philly and then come back and play the defending Super Bowl champs. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, somebody in week 4, who cares? But oh no, I'm sorry, that's week 5. Week 4 is Tampa. Week 5, it's like, who cares?
No, but I think you're right. I think it's the Saints in 4.
Was I right?
Yeah.
Saints are 4, and then we have the third. Then we have the Thursday night in week 5. That's what it was.
Yep.
So yeah, we play somebody in week 4. So who cares? The first quarter of the season, I just want to see the defense improve. I want to see them gel because I know it's going to take some time for them to get to where
Mm-hmm.
This is not going to be like a top 15 defense. At least I don't think so. Well,
it could be.
I don't know. I don't know. It could be now I got to think about it.
Exactly. And we added 2 guys, remember? So it's like it changes your whole thought process, right? I mean,
I've been saying we're not going to be a top 15 defense for the entirety of this offseason. So,
well, dude, I said I said a few weeks ago, and you may agree or may not, but I said the offense may carry the defense for like the first half of the season, and it's not because. And this is before we made those moves, because I just thought that the offense with Kirk, with the playmakers that we got, with the offensive line that we got, with Zach Robinson, who, if he is who we think he is, like we're going to be scoring some points, but the defense may be giving it up while they're getting their shit together and while they're figuring out how to play together. And I think that defense will come around as the season goes along. But again, you throw on Judon and you add a guy who not just as smart as Simmons is. Like we just talked about what that does pre-snap and even post-snap to the
Oh,
opposing
snap.
quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's gonna create hell. So yeah, the possibility is there for it to be just really damn good. You know what I mean? And it's just we're just again kind of betting on, we just have to see it. But
Right.
I'm with you though, man. Just competitive, like one score game. If we're losing, hopefully it's a one score type of thing. We're not getting just kicked out of the building for any reason.
Curb stomp. Don't get curb
exactly,
stomp.
exactly. No, I mean, for me, I would love to go 3-1, 4-0, but if we're 2-2, I'm okay with it. Like I can live in that world after those first 4 games.
Coming out of there 2-2, maybe even coming out of there 2-3, and you beat what's it called? You beat Pittsburgh and New Orleans. I think that's still a win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's still a win because you're set up to fail because Kirk Cousins doesn't usually come out the gate very hot.
Mm-hmm.
So you're set up to have a really tough start. I think that as long as you get as close to 500 as possible heading into the bye, I think that's what I've said this entire time. Get as close to 500 as you can as you get into the bye, and we can hash it out afterwards.
Yep. Yeah, because overall, after those, it is one of the, and I hate the whole easiest schedule in the league shit because every year there's teams that
every
come
year
out of nowhere. Every year happens every, so it's kind of a mute point. But we do have on paper one of the easier schedules, in the league. And Damon said last season's Cardinals game did it for me. Panthers game with Ritter through the dude. Yeah, we were at a watch party, and I lost my mind. I scared the hell out of Big Low. He didn't know. He was like, "Man, I didn't know you could bid like that." I was like, "Yeah, well, Ritter did it to me, man. I don't know what to tell you." William Amy, what's up, buddy? He said, Caleb McGarry, my biggest concern. Yeah, Drew. You know what? Drew Dahlman has grown on me.
Is okay. Drew Dahlman is okay. You know what I mean? I didn't think that he would be, but yeah, he's grown on me too. I think I'm not saying that he's like an all pro or anything. He's not a Pro Bowl or anything, but I think that he is a solid, center. I think he's good.
Yeah. Millie, what's up, buddy? He said, I'm more worried about Highsmith. And he's a beast too. Yeah.
He is. He is. Yeah. I can understand that.
He said Jake's been getting beat recently. Hey man, calm down. I'm not.
I mean, we are going to be in the tackle market next draft. I mean, we are.
You can only like age is undefeated, man. Like it's undefeated.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. We're still going to.
Yeah, you're going to start declining at some point. Let's just hope it's not this year to like any type of level that is tangible. Like one more year, buddy. Like
exactly. Yeah, like just one more year. Just one more year.
Yeah, man. Liam, so I got to find a way for Bijan. Yeah. I'm sure he will sign all your stuff, man, for sure.
Absolutely.
And what's going on, dude? Good to see you, man. Millie said the only thing I need from him is to feed Bijan for my fantasy purpose. There you go.
Fully understand.
Yeah, Ant, we did see that he got traded. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Happened
Chris,
on air.
what's up,
That's
man?
crazy.
It happened on air, yes.
Yo.
Mr. A1 forever, man. Make sure y'all check out Chris, killing it every week. Not just Falcons, man. All kinds of sports talk he's doing over there. Braves, Hawks, you name it, man. Let's see. All right, I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. All right, man. Saivion, brother, thank you for coming in tonight and being the guest host. To bookend this, time without Mike, I guess. I don't know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. Having guys like Fleek and Mark, Berto, JR, all of us, man, we're great and all, but there's nothing like having you and Mike on this show, man. There's nothing like it, man. So I'm very excited to come back next week and to freaking hear Mike bring all the energy. Oh my God. We haven't heard him talk about the defense yet. Oh my God. It's going to be amazing.
Like I may not even speak for the first half hour. Like it might just be like, all right, Mike, you do your thing, man.
Just let them go off, man.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, man. So but anyway, man, like I said, much appreciated, man. I love the work you're doing at Sporting News, man. Like I try to retweet what I can and read everything. Doing a fantastic job, man. So just keep doing what you're doing, man, and tell the folks where they can find you again. That's came in here at the end of the show. Hang on, King, what's up, man? He said, did y'all hear what Coach Mike said about the Falcons? Better be ready.
Yes. Yes. Mike Tomlin was on Rich Eisen's show. You can give that a listen. But yeah, he said that he's got something for Raheem Morris. So yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure that Coach has something for him too. So it's all good. Then
you already know at least once.
Hey, hang on. Let's see. Well, there's this one too. Yeah, there it is.
We going to the Super Bowl, mother.
Yep.
We going undefeated. We going undefeated. We going undefeated.
Oh,
we
man.
Going undefeated.
Why does he keep saying it? It is like on
we
a
going
repeat.
Undefeated.
Good Lord, Mike, calm down. Damn, we going undefeated. I got it. Shit. All right. So y'all can see we got plenty of mic drops. Literally have like mics drops. But yeah. But anyway, Jordan, appreciate you, man. Jamal, appreciate you, dude. William said at least beat the Pittsburgh. Yeah, man. I would love to take both those Pennsylvania teams out of here, man. I would love for it. Jamal, appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, man. Gotta love Mike, 100%, man. Everybody got something for everybody. Exactly, Lisa. You tell them. That's a good way to end it right there. Anyway, Saivion, tell the folks where they can find you, buddy.
Yes, at MixonS_NFL on Twitter. Find us at thesportingnews.com/US/NFL/Atlanta-Falcons. That's where you find me, Trey, Kenny, Bryce, Clint, and Hunter. Fleek too. Fleek is a bit of a sabbatical right now, but we are all doing our thing. Follow us over at the New Millennium Falcons podcast. That is on YouTube. We just did a show yesterday. You can find us on Tuesday. You can find these guys here on Wednesdays. So just absolutely excited for this season, man. And again, thank you so much, John, for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course, dude. Yeah, always, man. It is, and y'all know Saivion and Fleek and the whole crew will be back on several times this season, man. There's no doubt about it. Whether good or bad is going on, that's going to happen. Hey, William, man, you've watched the show for long enough, you know Mike ain't got no breaks. Like it's undefeated every year, buddy. You know it.
Every single year.
Every single year. But yeah, man. So obviously y'all can follow us here, like the video or like the live, subscribe if you haven't already. We much appreciate that. Well, again, we'll be live on most weeks, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. previewing the game coming up for the weekend, and then recapping the game either on Sunday after the game or maybe Mondays. It depends on if we're at the baseball field with Liam or what's going on there. But that's what the plan is, at least. And then we'll be dropping videos throughout the season. If something pops up, I may start doing the film review videos again. Have some, those take forever to edit, but they're pretty fun doing them. Hopefully be a lot more fun, because last year was not fun. It was not the results were not fun what I was watching. So but hopefully a lot better this year. But yeah, man, that's it. You can email us if you want to email us, atlfalconfancast@gmail.com. We've had some great emails over the couple of years of doing this. So man, keep sending those in. And send, if you got something for Mike, feel free to send it in for Mike, I think, because he's been gone for a bit. So he can't wait to get back, and make sure y'all tune in next week. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be an outstanding, hilarious, fun show. We're probably going to bring back underrated, overrated, or whatever game we're going to play. I don't even know yet. It's going to be something, but the show will return as y'all all know it as it to be. So yeah, man. So Saivion again, buddy. Can't thank you enough, man, for coming 2 nights in a row. You had your own show last night. You had to talk about it again tonight with me. So much appreciated.
A lot of fun, man. I can't talk about these. I can't talk about these freaking Dirty Birds enough.
All right, man. We all have a great night. We will catch y'all next week. As Mike would say, man, out of your Falcon mind. Peace.